Hello everybody, it's here to you, and welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Legend, and it feels really good to be able to say that again. In the previous episode, we finished off our adventure, and in today's episode, we're begin the extra level of Tomb Raider Legend, Croft Manor. Now before we get started this time around, I would just like to say, there should be a reward over there, but I picked it up on a field recording and the game autosaves when you pick up rewards for Croft Manor, so yeah, here's some additional footage that it's top secret, so don't share it with anybody.
Hey, Lara.
Hello, Zip.
Anyway, we'll be going over this direction, and the first thing you want to do is we go over here into the tech lab. We'll activate this computer, and that will give us access to the grappling hook, which will be very important for what we'll be doing today. And then before I go any further, I would just like to say there's a lot of really fun details you can see in this area. There's some sticky notes everywhere, there's some programming mumbo-jumbo on the computers and stuff like that. Although, one of the more disturbing details, admittedly, is this one where it says reboot video cameras in the bedroom. It's a little disturbing, but whatever. So we go over this way, and like I was saying a moment ago, this is the extra level for Tomb Raider Legend. This was a staple for the Tomb Raider series that, amongst many other staples for the series, was completely thrown away when Crystal Dynamics rebooted the series for Tomb Raider 2013. But that's a topic for another day. So basically, the Croft Manor levels were basically the game's way of giving you a safe area to play around and mess with the game's controls without you being in any real danger or anything like that. So before we go too much further into this level, there is this area over here. We can go in here and change our outfit. Now, there are a lot of outfits in Tomb Raider Legend. I'll be just showcasing them all right now. And thanks to the super amazing powers of editing magic, you'll be able to see on the bottom of the screen the criteria needed to unlock every single outfit in the game. Now, the thing is, there are a few extra outfits that we don't have yet because we haven't gotten the reward to across Croft Manor yet. Bleh. Try to say that 5 times fast. So, yeah, this is something that's interesting, and also something that's kind of funny is that the cat suit has a really weird shiny glow to it when playing on the HD versions of this game. It's just kind of like a oversight for this game's HD-ness. I don't know where I was going with that. So this one right here is pretty interesting because this is the Amanda outfit, and you can also wear the Amanda Winter version as well. So this is honestly kind of funny because you can play the game as Amanda, kind of, and it can cause some pretty hilarious things in the game if you replay through the previous levels playing as Amanda. I've broken into Lara's house!
And according to Amanda's research, it's here.
What do you know about Amanda? Where is she?
Have you looked in a mirror recently?
Makes sense right this second, or I swear I'll execute you where you stand!
I told you to pull out the sword. I told you!
Where is my mother?
Avalon!
And with that out of the way, we'll go back over here. And this one right here, this is the swimsuit. There's 2 versions of this, but we don't have the other one quite yet. Now, the interesting thing about this one is this is the only outfit in the game that can only be worn in Croft Manor. You can't wear this in any of their levels or anything like that. Now, the funny thing is, and I'm going to directly quote Stella's Tomb Raider website for this part, but it's really funny because on the website it says swimsuits can only be worn in Croft Manor, climbing the Himalayas in a bikini is not allowed. Now, I've been thinking a lot about which one that I want to wear during Croft Manor. I think I'm going to go with this one, because even though the default Legend outfit is my personal favorite in the game, this is one that we only really got to see during a cutscene, so I think I'd like to play around with this one for a little bit because this is also one of my favorites in the game, and the fact that we only literally got to see during a cutscene, I would like to give it just a little bit more time in the sun. Except we're indoors, so a little more time in the overhead lighting. I don't know. But now we have our guns. Yeah, we can destroy things and get a bronze reward behind Laura's bed. And something that I always love doing when I play through this level is I like to go over here and be all like, I'm jumping on the bed, I'm jumping on the bed. Laura's bed is really fancy. Wow. So we go over here, and the next area that I want to go towards is the library. Take them to the library. And a bit of a fun oversight in this game is that in the HD versions of Tomb Raider Legend, there's an added detail where if you're rolling around the ground like this, Lara will get a little bit more dirty. But it's funny because the way this is programmed is it does this even when you're indoors inside Croft Manor like this. Because you'd think this big fancy mansion would be all like completely spotless and things like that, considering the fact that we have a butler. But it's not.
You're not going outside, are you?
Not when there are still so many interesting dark places inside.
Your enthusiasm truly inspires me, Lara.
Don't be sarcastic, Alistair. It's dishonest.
I asked Winston to install a handle for you, but he didn't even offer the courtesy of a reply.
He probably thought it was a rhetorical question. I would have.
Who needs handles when you have unnecessary epicness? Activating this one over here will give us access to another bronze reward. Now, something that I'm pretty sure I praised this during the main adventure was just how different the designs for the different rewards were in the game. And this even goes into Croft Manor, because the rewards in this area, they look like the Croft Manor family crest thing that I'm pretty sure fancy rich people have all over the world or something like that. I don't know exactly how that works, but yeah, it's a really, really cool detail. I really like it.
Above the waters, twin sisters turn their backs, one upon the other, to leave their umbrages unguarded. Lovely.
It is lovely. Quite like you, Lara. Alright, sorry about that. So we go over here and we can activate this statue, and what's with the design of these statues, by the way? They're like sticking their tongue out and we boop the tongue to activate it. I don't know, it's weird. So that was a secret passage that led to the bedroom. And for this next area, I think I'm going to change my outfit just a little bit, because the next area we're going to be going towards is the pool. And as much as I love this outfit, I don't want to get it ruined from going swimming, so let's go with this one instead. Now, another funny oversight in this game, this applies to all versions of Tomb Raider Legend, at least for the console versions, but the funny thing about this is that they didn't model, like, Laura's gun holsters or anything like that, because she would only be able to wear this in Croft Manor. So you could still get your guns in Croft Manor, so Laura's pistols just miraculously appear out of nowhere. It's, it's just really funny to look at, because, like, the guns just miraculously appear in midair. They're like magical guns or something like that. It's pretty amusing. So, the next area they want to go towards, I believe there's a reward over here. Yes, there is. So, let's go over here and pick it up. Oh, yeah. So, this is a big reason why I wanted to change outfits before coming into this area. Not just for the fact that we get to see my waifu in a bikini, but also because, like I said, I don't want to ruin any of Laura's outfits by going swimming in them or anything like that. And this one just seemed like it would be pretty fitting. So we go over this way now. We can jump across this fish statue thingy. And now we can jump over here and continue onwards. Now, I'd like to take this time to explain why it's taking so long to get around to making this bonus video. So, there are a couple of reasons. One, of all the places in Tomb Raider Legend, Croft Manor is easily the one that I'm least familiar with, because I rarely ever replay this on my own time. I've replayed Tomb Raider Legend dozens of times, 100%, and it just seems like Croft Manor is something that I just rarely ever go back to. It's kind of weird. Yeah, another reason is because I did have this fully recorded a few years ago, like in 2018 or something like that. But the thing is, the quality was absolutely atrocious. It was like one of the most horrible videos I'd recorded at that time. Like everything that could have possibly gone wrong during a recording session did. Like, the thing is, I was recording with my sister and she was the one who was doing the gameplay. Now she's not quite as experienced with playing games while commentating as I am, so she would do things like stand around for 3 minutes while she was explaining something, and the microphone quality in general was just really bad, and there was also a lot of background noise and things like that. It just wasn't good at all.
Splendid.
So that, among other reasons, is the reason why I decided to just completely redo this video. And now we're going over this way. I believe there's something up there. Yes, there is. So we use the grappling hook to knock down this orb. Something funny that I like to do is I like to roll this backwards, because if we could do it just right... Yes, we did! Yay! If we do it just right, then it kind of rolls around and pushes Lara upwards during the cutscene. It's just really funny to look at. So behind this statue over here, there is a silver reward. Now the fun thing about these fish statues, and I'm not quite able to tell this full story during live commentary because I don't remember the entire thing, but those fish statues, they may seem familiar to anybody who may or may not have seen the some of the Disney hotels at the Disney parks, and I gotta get back upwards. Yay. Take 5003. As I'm trying to say, that fish statue is based off something interesting. I believe it's Greek mythology, or not Greek mythology, Greek history or something like that, where these artists who were making drawings for like ancient whales or things like that, the interesting thing about them is that they look like fish nowadays, but because people could like really actually see a whale back then, at least in the mainland of Greece, then they weren't really able to see what a whale actually looked like, and that's the reason why the fish designs look like that. It's supposed to be a dolphin, but looks more like a fish, and there's something interesting that's similar to that from one of the Walt Disney World hotels. That's all I was trying to say. But now that we did that, I'm gonna go back up here and get a little bit more air before we continue onwards, and I gotta say, this water is just absolutely gorgeous. Just the way that it moves around and things like that, and it's so clean looking. I know it's probably because it's early HD graphics and all, and there wasn't quite as detailed as games nowadays, but it's just so pretty, and I also love how the bubbles look when Lara is swimming around. We're going over here, open sesame. And now we go up here, and we're inside of a gym now. It's a Pokemon gym! That's kind of interesting to think about, is that in between my Tomb Raider Legend Let's Plays, I had never played a Pokemon game in my life when I did my first Legend Let's Play. But with this one, I have played quite a few of them. I've never beaten a Pokemon game at this point, but who knows, maybe if I Let's Play Tomb Raider Legend a third time, I would have beaten a Pokemon game. So now we'll go over here, and the basic idea behind this area is that this is really going to be your training grounds for having a squeaky chair. Sorry about that. I know that's probably going to pick up on the microphone, so I apologize. So this is going to be your training ground for the platforming in this game, which I really do appreciate, because the platforming in this game was a lot more advanced than it was in the PlayStation 1 era of games. So it was really nice that they had something like this. Now, of course, the thing about that, though, is the fact that you had to beat the Bolivia level before you had access to Croft Manor. But it's not like the platforming segments in Bolivia were all that complicated or anything like that. So that's kind of like the whole basic idea behind the Croft Manor levels in general. First of all, you can jump over here to get over there if you need that pathway instead of the one that we took a moment ago. But the basic idea behind the Croft Manor levels in general was that these were basically just big training grounds for you to explore and things like that. It was very simplistic in the first game, but it gradually expanded into their own entire separate levels in future games. I think Tomb Raider 3 is the version of Croft Manor that everybody loves from the original. I haven't beaten that one on my own time, but I do remember liking it. Although I do have a soft spot for the original one because I replayed through them like a bazillion times. And now we go over here. The next reward that we want to go grab is over here, but you want to be careful. Drop down right here and continue onwards. And it just occurred to me that I forgot to change outfits. I intended to change the sport outfit before coming in here because that's probably the one that looks more like something you'd wear at a gym or something like that, but I just kind of completely forgot about that. But we already made it this far anyway, so we'll just keep going. Yay, swimsuit Lara could be on screen for a little bit longer. I'm sorry, Lara Croft is my waifu, don't judge me. The next rewards we'll be collecting, we'll need to use a grappling hook to move the ladder over there. Excuse me, can you jump on top of this thing? Thank you very much. Jump across the thing, there we go. And now we can go over here. So as we go across this area, I would like to talk a little bit more about the outfits in this game because there's actually a few of them that are only available on the PlayStation Portable version of this game. Unfortunately, I have absolutely no way of recording footage of the PSP version of this game because 1, I don't own a PSP, and 2, I never will, and 3, if I did have one of those, and if I cared to get a PSP version, capture cards for that are probably super expensive and impossible to find nowadays, so I don't really have a realistic way of recording my own footage of those outfits, but these pictures that I'll be showing you are from Stella's Tomb Raider walkthrough. This is the resource that I use for all my Tomb Raider projects on the channel. It's easily one of the best that you'll ever find for the series. There'll be a link to it in the description below, so you can check that out if you want. But these pictures are for the outfits that are only available on the PSP version. I don't really know why they are only available on that version, because the PSP, in my personal opinion, is just alright. I'm sorry, I'm a Nintendo fan. It's my job to hate any portable system that's not Nintendo. I'm just kidding, I'm just kidding. The PSP did have some pretty good games from what I know. I think Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep was pretty fun, at least from what I've seen of it. But it's just kind of weird that of all the versions of this game, the PSP version is the one that got exclusive outfits. The same could probably be said about the Xbox 360 version of Underworld, because that version of Underworld is literally the only one that ever got the DLC, which means that that's the only one that ever got the DLC outfits, so there are some console exclusive versions of the outfits in that game, so that's kind of mildly interesting, maybe sort of, kind of, perhaps. So the next reward we'll be collecting, we'll be going over here. We want to drop down off of this ledge and go this way. That was close. And now we can go over here, jump over here, and this next reward is one that always confuses me. How do I want to do this? Go like that, and go like that. Okay, so the interesting thing about that is that this is the way you're supposed to get this reward, but there's actually a glitch to this area. You can swim right next to the platform, and the reward is close enough to Lara where she can just pick it up in the water. I don't know how they never noticed that or anything like that when they were making this game. I don't remember if this is only on the Xbox 360 version or not, but it's just a really funny oversight. It kind of seems like Croft Manor in general just has a lot of oversights like that, such as the guns miraculously appearing whenever you're using the swimsuit outfit or things like that. It's just really funny to think about. That's not the button I'm meant to push. There we go, except not. Next up, we'll go over here, jump over this direction, And now we can get another reward. I believe there's only one more left in this area, so yay, we're making progress. Is that the way I want to go? What's over there? What is over here? This is not the direction I want to go. Thanks to the super amazing powers of the grappling hook, we can move that platform around, and now we can continue onwards. So one other thing I would like to mention is, in the original Tomb Raider, something really interesting is that Lara converts her ballroom into a gym. I don't know if that's the same case for this game, though, because this is kind of like a separate version of the character. There are some continuity things between this game and the original series, like the fact that the Himalaya crash, that's kind of the big central plot point in this game, that was actually a plot point that was apparent in the original series as well. So I don't know if this area used to be a ballroom as well. I don't think it was, because the lighting here probably doesn't give off the impression that this could be a ballroom at some point. I don't know. Lara's rich, she probably had installed an entirely different lighting when she came into this area or something like that. Come on, come on, come on. Get off the platform. Get off the platform. There we go. So the next thing that I'll be demonstrating is actually a glitch. So I normally don't go on my way to demonstrate glitches in my videos because I want to show you how to go through these areas the most natural way possible, like the most dev-intended method. But the glitch I'll be demonstrating right now is this one. If you jump on a ledge right here, and at the same frame where Lara does the animation where one of her legs almost falls off the platform, you can trigger a glitch where she'll be walking around in the air. I plan on making an entirely separate bonus video going over this glitch in more detail, because there's a lot of really cool things you can see because of this. But the reason why I want to demonstrate it right now is because if you go up here, unfortunately you can't go outside the boundaries of the level or anything like that. The walls that prevent you from leaving this area are pretty high, and you can't really get too much higher without max replay or anything like that, or hacking or whatever. I don't really know what the difference is. But we go over here, and you can see that there's the fireplace from Lara's foyer, which is pretty funny. But you can also see, like, just a very generic texture right there. Like, you can just barely see the staircase loaded into the world. It's just really funny to look at. This was the outfit that I had intended for Lara to wear during the part of the video where we're going through the gym. So, because I kind of forgot to change outfits, let's do this instead. Whee! Switching outfits one more time to another personal favorite. We'll be going over here and we'll be returning to the library. It's finally time to return that overdue book. So we'll go over this way, and one thing I want to say is that this outfit for Lara, there's several different colored versions of this one. There's the brown one that's a default, the blue one's pretty cool, the pink one's really nice, and there's a black one that we haven't unlocked yet. So the reason why I like this one more is because the shirt is blue, and the blue version of Lara's outfit should be my favorite, but the pants are also blue on that one, and it just kind of looks weird. And it's the only version of that outfit that does that, so I don't know why they do that, but it's just a little weird. So, I'm trying to remember what the combination is. Well, I have in my notes what the combination is, but I'm trying to remember where the books are. I believe that one's the next one, and the last one is down here. You have to do it in that order. The hint was inside the pool house, if I remember correctly.
Above the hearth, revealed visage and countenance touched in haste, raise up the steward. What fun!
So the combination for activating that one is blue, yellow, green, and red. So yay, all the colors of the... I I forgot that they still talk when you roll around and things like that when you're inside the mansion. That's kind of funny. What was I trying to say? I don't remember what I was trying to say, so we'll be moving on to a different topic. There's a couple more rewards over here. And, oh, I remember what I was talking about. So, the color combination, it's all the colors of the first generation of Pokemon. So, yay, there's your Tomb Raider Pokemon crossover that the world has been waiting for. So, for the next one, I believe we want to do is that you have to do this quickly, where you jump across this area. Come on, come on, come on. We gotta be quick about this. We gotta be quick about this. We have to do this before the other thing completely turns around. And then we press the button. Alright, so I think that's what you're supposed to do.
The risen Athena turns to face the sun, whose burden then reveals her golden laurel.
That was what we were supposed to do, I just messed up. Go over here, turn the statue towards the sun. And the gold platform has risen. To get over there, we need to go over here. Now, we could probably use that one fancy glitch that I demonstrated a moment ago, but I want to do this the way that they intended you to do it. So I go over here, and pick up our sweet, sweet wood. Now I'm just gonna check the rewards to see if that was everything. We're missing 2 bronze rewards. Where am I missing them? And with that, we now have every reward in Croft Manor, so that's pretty fun. There really isn't a definitive end to Croft Manor, like there isn't a point that triggers the end of this level, so this is really something that, after beyond this point, there's really not much to do, but you can just run around and just freely explore the area if you want. Before we finish off this video, though, there is a detail that I'd like to point out, though. If you go into data, you can see some unique entries for every single level. These are completely different from the ones we've seen during the loading screens and things like that, and offers a little bit more insight into Laura's thoughts about what's going on in the situations of the individual levels, and it's really, really cool. This one, however, is particularly noteworthy because it mentions that of the 3 mansions that Laura's father left her, this one is the one that she considers her home. The reason why I find that fascinating is because in the development of this game, Lara was originally going to have a beach house. We don't know if this is going to be a proper level or another tutorial area or something like that, but this was one of the levels that ended up getting scrapped in the middle of development. So with that, let's save our rewards and exit Croft Manor. I lied! So, now that we've collected every single reward in Croft Manor itself, we now have access to a few new outfits. We have Legend Black, which, wow, this one looks really, really cool. This is one of my favorite outfits that Laura's ever worn in the game, and the black one just looks really cool. I really like this one. There's also a suit, a cream suit, both of which I'm honestly not that big of a fan of, and probably the most important one, a second swimsuit. Yay! Waifu! So, those are all the outfits in the game, except for the ones that are only available on the PlayStation Portable, but I can't record that footage, so yay, this is the best that I can do. Woo! So for the last thing we'll be demonstrating in today's video, on the Xbox 360 version, you hold the LB button and then press A, RT, B, RT, LT, X, and we now have access to the Soul Weaver weapon. This is awesome! So if I remember correctly, this is based off another weapon created by the Legacy of Kain series that was also made by Core Design or something like that. I don't remember the exact details. There are a few references to that game in Tomb Raider Legend, such as you'll see some pictures of the characters in Croft Manor. Some of the outfits, the lower wares will have the emblem of the series on there. But the really cool thing is, now we get red laser beams! Yes! This is all kinds of awesome! I don't care that it's locked behind a cheat code, this is so cool! So now we're taking care of all that, we're in this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Tomb Raider Legend. In the next video, we'll be demonstrating everything else there is to see in this game before we wrap up this game forever. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Tomb Raider Legend, and until next time, Lady Gear to you.